When I first came to town, it was 4 years ago, I was concerned to find out that we actually have two ministerial organizations. There's the TMA and the TMU, and they're clearly divided. One's more for the white churches and one's more for the black churches. They're divided literally with a railroad track, of all things. So literally the other side of the tracks is where a lot of the other churches are, the black churches. You know, for months, I would come here on Friday nights to help out, and I would drive. And the first time I actually walked from the church, which is only 7 blocks away, there was something transformational happening in my heart to walk literally in the same pathways, and sometimes the sidewalks are torn up or non-existent. The same pathways that many of the people here who have no car have no choice but to use their feet. I was walking with them in that moment. When I crossed the railroad tracks, there was just something that changed me, and realized that we truly are neighbors. The key is to create an opportunity where it's not just about this little diversity group that's getting together to talk about loving Jesus and loving neighbors and going across the tracks. We've got to make that more of a church-wide emphasis. We've got to make it where we're having those conversations, not to force it on people, but to allow people to experience this. I think we're in the early stages, but I think it's early enough to see that there is resistance, there is hesitancy about talking about race, and there's fear. And what we need to do is create safe spaces and opportunities where people can have conversations about race without being afraid of being called a racist or accused of racism, but just to have real, honest conversations about the subject of race, and this journey can go forward then. My hope is that the journey will not just be an ending point somewhat, where my hope is the journey will be an ongoing journey beyond just this pilot phase that we have. And my hope is that the conversations will continue. One thing I definitely would love to see is people from both sides of the tracks coming together, not in big, huge rallies or big speeches, but in those small conversations that we can have.